Hey everybody, welcome to the first installment of the Ad Campaign Club. I am Kevin Hutto, your host. Behind the camera we have Jenna Graziani, your cameraman, so any bad camera stuff you can blame on her. And behind her, heckling her, is Reese Ted Nugent. So what we're going to do today is we are going to break down the campaign and explain a few things for you guys. Unfortunately, I have two substandard markers here because Lynn, who is not here, did not do a good job, so I will have to have someone flog her later. And I'm having to use a really shitty green and blue marker, which I'm disappointed in. But I do have a good big black one and a good red one, and so we'll go for there. So what we're going to be breaking down today is the Hydra campaign, and so I will write that on the flip chart here. So the reason that we call this campaign the Hydra is, if you remember, there was in mythology this mythical monster creature called the Hydra that had 7 heads. And every time you chopped a head off, 2 more would grow back. And so you could never kill the thing because it had more and more and more heads always popping up the more times you chopped the heads off of the Hydra. So I came up with the idea a while back to have a campaign like this. And the purpose of the campaign, I think, is important to talk about first so that you'll understand a little bit of what we're doing here. So if you guys run ads at all, you're probably familiar with the concept of top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel in your ads that you're running. Okay? So I'm going to change a color here and use potentially a blue. It is so tiny. So for your top of funnel ads, what these are the ads. No, I'm not going to do that. There's your entertainment for this video. So your top of funnel ads, these are for awareness. These are like, in our alliterative thing that we do, this is contact. This is when people make first contact with you, is at your top of funnel. Your middle of funnel ads, this is where they start to consume from you, and so this is where they're deepening the relationship. And then the bottom of funnel, this is where hopefully some of them convert. Okay, so what happens a lot of times is people start off and they run an ad campaign and they start running a conversion campaign to their page. And what happens a lot of times is they'll get a bunch of sales or some number of sales, 5, 6, 7, 10 sales, right? So what they do is they run, their traffic straight to this and make these sales. Then what happens, and I guess I could see if I can do this elegantly, if I have to just rip this thing off. Whoop. There you go. So what happens in this is that you start running the ads and you get this sort of good spike of sales here, and then all of a sudden the sales fall off a cliff. Okay, and so everybody always thinks, well, what happened to my ads? What's the deal? What's the problem here? And what really happened to your ads, if you chart it out, it's like and I'm just making this up as I go, so this may or may not map out correctly. But basically, what happens is over time you end up running out. So like this is going to be like cold and warm, or something like this. But basically what happens is the longer you run your ads this way, if this is time, the colder the traffic gets. And so what happens is is when you first start running the ads and your sales, spike up like this, is because you have this amount of what I call equity that you have in your page. So you've got say you have 1,000 people on your page that have followed you, probably 100 of those people really like your stuff if you're decent, right? So out of those 100, if you run this ad, you might get 4 or 5 sales because they're very warm to you. So you've got this another good analogy is, and I'm going to get to the Hydra part in just a minute, but I just wanted to set the stage here. Another good analogy is the bullseye that everybody draws, and they go, again and again and again like this. And so this is like your bullseye of warm traffic here that you have, right? And so what happens is your ads that you run when you first start, they're just running basically here and here, and then you run out of that. And then once you run out of that and you start going out here and out here, then it stops converting. And the reason why is because you're having a mismatch between the point in the funnel. This is top, this is middle, and this is bottom. You're having a mismatch because you're running bottom of funnel ads out here to super cold traffic, and they're not ready for bottom of funnel, right? So you need to start out here with top of funnel, middle of funnel, probably still middle, and then bottom of funnel down here once they've proven that they're warm to you. And so what you want to do, and this could even be like a combination top, middle. So the challenge that you end up having is that if you're running bottom of funnel ads out here, then Taki will be so proud I'm using my colors. If you're running bottom of funnel ads out here, then it's not going to work because these guys don't know you enough to give you their money, or they don't know you enough to give you their attention, right? And so what I came up with the idea is I have this thing at the house. It's in our we homeschool our kids, and it's this perpetual motion machine. And you start this thing going, and it just goes, and it'll go for hours just from a little push. And so I got to thinking, I was like, I wonder if there was a way to create this perpetual motion machine in the ads that we could constantly have a flow of warm traffic coming down the funnel, through the different stages of the funnel. A lot of people will run a lead magnet or things like that at the top, but what I've found is that it's hard to get scale at that because the cost to run those kind of ads at the top of funnel is really high. So if you're running lead magnet ads, it's hard to get it to where you can really warm up a big audience fast enough with lead magnet. You've got to have a really dialed in email sequence, and you can, but it's quite difficult. And so I've been messing around with content messaging and all this stuff for about a year and a half now, and I came up with this idea. Taki and I've been working on it for about probably a year now, as far as having your content do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. And so we've been, I've got all this training that we've done about context and about moving the context fulcrum, more towards the buyer and things like that. And I'll do that in another campaign breakdown. But the idea is that video views are so much more inexpensive so much cheaper than running ads to get opt-ins for a lead magnet. So the idea was that we need to try to warm up people with videos, and then be able to use the way that the video that we're able to build audiences. So one of the names of the game with Facebook ads is becoming really good at building audiences. Okay, and that's what I'm going to show you here in just a second. But once you get to where we can build these audiences and then we can move them through a certain way, then what you're able to do then is we're going to be able to really have only warm people seeing our ads, our conversion ads, which might be for an app or it might even be for a sale, right? And so without further ado, I'll give you the Hydra, which is the framework for this video ad campaign structure for all your content. Okay, so there's 3 levels to the Hydra. Level 1 is, and again, since it's named the Hydra, you can imagine it's going to have 7. If I can draw here. So level 1 here is the 7 problems in your niche. Okay, so this is a straight up top of funnel objective, and the idea behind this is in here, you know, you've got problem 1, problem 2, problem 3, problem 4, problem 5, problem 6, problem 7, and these are the actual things that you can think of that are the real issues in your market, right? And these are 7 different videos that you're going to run. These videos are going to be short, like 3 to 5 minutes. They're going to be very, like cut to the chase, actionable, good content that you're going to have. And then the idea behind these, like I'll give you, like in our market, the problems are not enough apps, the quality of the apps is bad, the cost of the apps are too high, I can't get the right targeting, all these different things, right? If I was going to do it for myself. And each video would be about those, and then I would give a little bit of a magic bullet on each one of those in this level of the Hydra. And then what I would do is I would have and this is kind of the ninja thing that I haven't told anybody in the groups or anything, is the call to action at this level is going to be like a micro commitment, but it's a really good one. And the call to action on this level is to join your free group. So you say, one of the problems that I see a lot of times in the marketplace for coaches, consultants, and service businesses is they get a lot of apps, but the apps suck, right? And so what I've found is that one of the things that is very, very important to getting high-quality apps is the messaging that you're running in your ads. In other words, you have to be more specific than most people are, and what you have to do is have like a plan to your messaging. So you need to figure out exactly, who this is for, what specific problem you're solving, blah, 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 right? That would be it. And say, listen, if you'd like to see more about this, I have a lot of this kind of information for free in my group Lead Hacking, here's the link. And then you have the link, and that's your call to action. So this is level 1 of the Hydra right here. And how you do the targeting on this is you're going to do interest targeting on all 7 videos. So you would have, like, say you're in the general coaching consulting market and Tony Robbins was one of your guys, you would have, Tony Robbins as an interest for these. But then the next thing you need to do is you need to set up 2 custom audiences for each of these videos. Custom audience 1 is a 10-second view. Custom audience 2 is a 50% video view. Okay? So custom audience 1 is a 10-second view. And custom audience 2 is a 50% video view. Okay? So why do you have both of these? Custom audience 1 is so that you can, in addition to having Tony Robbins as the interest on the targeting for all 7 of these videos, you're also going to have the other 6 videos 10-second view as the interest. So not just relying on the Tony Robbins interest, which can be really high to get the views on your stuff. You also want to run a second ad set where you have the custom audience 10-second view. Now here's a ninja thing on this. This one, well, these will be split out, and this one here you can run as a reach campaign. Okay, and the reason that works is because this is going to be really small, and so you're not going to run a conversion campaign on this. And as a matter of fact, you're not going to run conversion on this either because you don't really have a conversion that you can measure. I mean, they're going to go and join your group. So this is a good one to run here would be like a PPE or even test reach campaigns. Video views obviously works, but so how we're running it is video views here and then a reach campaign here on these. And so what we're doing is we're trying to get these done. Then the second audience that you have, the custom audience 2, the 50% video view audience here, there's two things having to do with that. The first thing is once someone has seen 50% of any of these 7 videos, they're going to drop down into level 2, which is the 10 commandments of your business model, right? But the other thing, and this is the ninja thing, is the exclusion for each of these 7 videos is a 50% video view of that video. So the exclusion for problem 1 is a 50% video view of problem 1. The reason for that is once they've seen 50% of it, you don't want that video delivered anymore, right? So they could still be delivering all these and dropping down into level 2. Does that make sense? Any questions? Oh, there, you guys wouldn't answer me. There you go. So, level 2 of Hydra. And I'm going to draw the whole thing out here at the end, but I wanted to get into the details. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My squares kind of suck. 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this is the 10 commandments of your niche. Okay, so say you're working with, accountants, right? And you have some kind of belief system about what accountants should or shouldn't do on Facebook ads. So anyways, the 10 commandments of the niche are where these are your beliefs. So like, one of my beliefs is don't run conversion offers to top of funnel people, to cold traffic. It's like you need to run top of funnel to cold traffic and then move them through the process, right? And so that's kind of my belief system on this. And so you have to come up with, and it doesn't have to be 10, it could be the 6 commandments if you've only got 6 good things, but you want to come up with like good stuff, right? And so when you come up with these commandments, then you have like, commandment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you've got these 10 commandments that you're running. Make these good videos. I would make these videos a little longer, make them like 5 to 7 minutes. And this is where you talk about your thing. You get to like deepen your relationship with the people here at this point. And so what you're talking about is like, you shouldn't be running cold traffic to conversion ads where you're trying to make a sale or you're trying to get an app, because you're either gonna, the only people that are gonna fill out your apps are gonna be the shitty ones, because they're the only people desperate enough to fill out an app and give you their life story without, knowing you a little bit, or you're not going to get any, right? And so that's, I could talk about that. I could come up with a good video on that and talk about it, and talk about how if you do that, you're going to have either you're going to have like quality problems, you're going to have volume problems, which is probably going to be quality problems more than anything, because you can get a lot of apps, from like, I don't know, wherever, Taiwan or something, that are low quality, that are no good, or even in the States, there's places where they'll give you low quality. But the point being that I would make 10 videos about my thing, and then these 10 videos, once somebody watches 50% of one of the other videos, then they drop down to this level. Now, how do we achieve that? First thing is the targeting on these videos is going to be the 50% video view of the problem 1 through 7 videos. So all 7 of those 50% views are going to be the targeting for this, okay? And what that means is that if they have watched half of any one of those top level videos, every one of these videos, their targeting is that, so that it'll drop down and you'll start seeing all of these, okay? Then the next thing is the targeting part 2. Again, because of the way Facebook works, is a 10-second view of level 2 of C1 through 10 is going to be your targeting here. So if they somehow see 10 seconds of one of these, you want all the rest of them to start being displayed to them, so they drop down completely into that level. So now they're able to see level 1 and all of level 2, right? And then the exclusion here is going to be the same exclusion that you ran in the first one. It's going to be a 50% video view of C1 through 10. It's only the exclusion is only its own video though, not all 10. So it would be, the exclusion here would be 50% video view of C1. That's the exclusion. And then so again, we're going to make 20 audiences here. We're going to make 10-second audiences, and we're going to make 10 50% audiences, and then the 50% audiences are going to be how we drop down into level 3. Now let me give you the call to action for this part of the thing. And Taki's going to hate me because I'm not using enough colors, but I'm going to try here. Call to action here is a lead magnet. Okay, this is some give. You can do it through ManyChat, you can do it through email, however you want. But lead magnet, you want me to give you a good one? If everybody does the exact same one, it won't work as good. But for now, a good one is can you read that? The other 9 commandments, right? So they just watched a commandment video, and they know, like, commandment number 3 is, thou shalt not sleep with your relatives or whatever, right? And so, okay, that's a pretty good one. What are the other 9 commandments? So your lead magnet that you could offer very simply is, hey, thank you so much for watching this video. This is commandment 3 of my 10 commandments of being a great accountant, or being, advertising your accounting business on Facebook. If you'd like to get the whole 10 commandments, I've got it in a little, handy PDF here that I'll give you. All you gotta do is just make the comment commandments below, and my mini chat bot will send it right to you. And then boom, now they're on a mini chat bot with you, and hopefully they've gotten in your group, and now they're on mini chat, and they're starting to deepen the relationship, right? So then after they've done this, and after one person hits 50% on any one of these, then they get dropped into level 3 of the Hydra, which is 30 days. And you get the idea. I don't have to draw it all 30. Okay? So this is 30 days in the life. And this is kind of how Taki and I started, where we were just documenting everything he did every day. This is like your ongoing stuff all gets dropped into 30 days in the life. You do a great video today while you're at the beach having coffee, and you have some insight, that drops into 30 days in the life. So this is really ongoing and never ending. But what you do on this is like where they sort of get to see that you're like a real human being and not just a Facebook bot person, robot who has no personality or any of that kind of stuff. So this is where you're showing, like how you work, like behind the scenes of how, all your crazy shit goes at the office, or how, your family's dysfunctional, or any of that stuff, right? So that's your 30 days in the life videos, and these take people even deeper in that relationship with you, right? And so, again, the same format applies. So the targeting on this is a 50% video view of commandment 1 through 10. Any of that, and it gets dropped down here. Also is a 10-second video view of D, which is days, day 1 through 30 or whatever, right? So that's the targeting. At this point, there's no reason to do an exclusion unless you want to, but you can always do. I mean, you can always exclude a 50% video view of itself. I don't really think it matters too much, but two things now. Once they drop into this, then they are now ready for a bottom of funnel conversion ad. And this can be like an introvert selling system ad. This can be like a webinar. This can be any number of things. And you want to know why your show rate is 15%? Because you're running top of funnel. Now, webinars are good warm-up. They do work. But your show-up is going to be shit, right? Because they don't really know you well enough to give you 2 hours of their time for you to, like, go at them the way that you do in a webinar. But if you run ads to these people for a webinar, your show-up rate's going to be 30%, 35, 40%. So again, at this point, you can run an ISS, you can run a webinar. But let me give you another cool thing here that's working really well, is the call to action at this level is message me. Hey, I saw you saw my video, or thanks for watching my video. I know you've watched a few of my videos now. If you got any questions, or if you just like to chat or just introduce yourself, send me a message. Send me a private message. It's really me. I'm online, and I'd love to meet you. So that's just it. And they send you a message. And I mean, some of our clients, like, I don't want to name names, but some of our clients have over 100 to 200 ongoing open messenger conversations going at a time right now because of this kind of thing. So that is level 3 of this. And as you can tell, if they go from level 1 to level 2 to level 3, they're a lot warmer. And then the last thing I'm going to do here is just draw it all for you on one page so that you can kind of get an overall idea. But you've got your cheat card, which I hope you like. And we got Jay-Z, we got Moses. And I don't know who the 30 Days in the Life dude is, but even if we have one at this point, because I don't know if that one's done. But anyways, so here's the Hydra in the thing. So this is the 7 problems. And then we have the how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Really? 3, 6, 9, 10. Oh shit, I drew them too small. All right, and then down here we have a bunch of these little fuckers. Just imagine that this is 30. So, again, okay guys, so I know that this probably seems like magic to you that the board is full now all of a sudden, but we are so new at this that our SD card filled up because we are not good at film. Anyways, so while Jenna was figuring out how to do the rest of it with her iPhone instead of the fancy camera. What we're doing is, what I was doing is drawing this out, and I'm going to give you just a quick end to this, and then we'll be good to go. So again, top level here, this is like your cold traffic, ice cold traffic, right? And these guys, you drop them into this top level, the 7 problems. Once this person, Joe prospect, watches half of one of the videos, then he starts seeing all your commandments. And so you're indoctrinating him into your belief system so that by the time that he starts watching your life, he's not only seeing that you understand his market because you're able to, identify the problems better than he can, then he starts to believe in your indoctrination of what you believe, and you've sort of moved him down that, a little bit further down the rabbit hole. And then third, he starts to see that you're a cool dude or a cool chick, and man, this guy is really smart. He believes the right things about the market. He understands all this stuff, and I'd like to hang out with him and have a beer. Now, what you've done is you've taken this cold traffic person right here from a video on YouTube, dropped them into your funnel at the top, and then you've bounced them into middle of funnel. Hopefully, Joe prospect joined your group here. Middle of funnel, maybe he joined your mini chat list or your email list. And then down here, maybe you get him to fill out an app or hop on a webinar and buy some shit from you. So that, folks, is the Hydra, and that's why I call it the, sort of perpetual motion machine, that it just sort of like, if you run this every month, then you run your conversion campaigns off of the back of this. There's nothing that you do after that. I mean, this is like it. This is the whole thing for you. So the whole enchilada. So hopefully that's helpful, and look forward to talking to you guys in month number 2, where I think I'm going to break down the introvert selling system, but maybe something else. I don't know. We'll see. So that's it.